Hey, this is Shady Fox, and today we're going to be talking about T3 Arena game modes because recently there have been a bunch of updates and I felt like it's worth raising a question: which game mode you should be playing. After approximately 1 year of development, we finally have 5 versus 5. Based on what LazyCat said, this is kind of the time they spent on developing 5 versus 5. Anyways, 5 versus 5 is fun, but at the same time we know it's like beta, it's like in an experimental phase. But when I was doing the show match with the guys, with the other creators, I enjoyed it a lot, and I can definitely feel that, like, that competitive atmosphere. We see some duplicated characters here and there. I faced some Judex, for example, but it's kind of not the end of the world. It's okay. What worries me are the crashes. As again, referring back to the show match, we had multiple technical issues, so I hope this is going to be more stable in the future. At this point, I would focus on 5 versus 5 if I would want to farm trophies with any of the heroes, at least the ones that are available in 5 versus 5. And the reason for that, and now we're gonna transition into the classic casual game modes, it's because there was a change in terms of matchmaking at the same time 5 versus 5 has been introduced. It has been said that it's like matchmaking 3.0, which is a way more advanced and more fair type of matchmaking. So I started solo queues and I got very easy games. Then I think I did team up and we did 3 versus 3 with a pre-made team. That's the point where it switched to tryhard mode, because the enemies I got, they were from very high levels, which means it was more of like winning a game, then losing a game, then losing again, then winning two. But my big concern with casual game modes is that it isn't really casual anymore. I mean, I have the feeling that it's very similar to ranked game mode. I'm gonna get back to that in a second. But the thing that I'm actually forced to bring my best heroes into the game makes me think that how on earth am I going to reach like glory levels 35 with Victor, the character which I don't really play, or eventually Iris. So it has been said by Gordo that some adjustments have been made to optimize the experience for new accounts / new heroes. For new accounts, I understand what that means, but for new heroes, I don't really understand, because by the time you select your hero, you already have your opponents, right? You already have the map. If this is how the game would have been introduced in first place, I guess nobody would be surprised or frustrated at this point. On the other hand, what I dislike about the new matchmaking is that it shouldn't happen that I'm the only one like on 20-ish trophies, and I get 2 players next to me in my team who are very low. The total amount of trophies, let's say, is like 25,000, and on the enemy team we have 3 players with each of them being on 8,000 trophies. Because most likely in these games alone, I'm not going to be able to win the game, especially if I have teammates who just run into the wall or start attacking our own crystal and so on. So because that's more of like 1 versus 3. Let's give this matchmaking a bit more time. I personally didn't really play casuals in the last 2 weeks. I didn't really play too much anyways, but after seeing that this new, like, let's say try-hard mode is not going to make my life easy to boost all of my heroes up to glory level 35, I just put this aside, because I need to figure out how to get all of them up to that glory level. So I said I would come back to ranked game mode, and again, my impression is that there is not a big difference at the moment between casual and ranked. Maybe at one point it's going to be merged into one, or I'm not sure about future plans on T3 side, but now like casual is pretty much the same as ranked, with the exception that we have slightly different game modes to choose from. But actually there's a difference, because I can anytime play casual game modes. I mean, I queue up and I'm gonna be instantly invited to the game, at least for team deathmatch and free for all. This is not true for Crystal Assault. So the queue time for Crystal Assault is now much longer than it used to be before the update. For Control, I'm not really sure. I don't really play casual Control, but to my understanding, it's not the most popular game type. People who like Control, I think, would rather jump onto a ranked game and have multiple rounds, because in casual, the Control feels to be something which is not complete. You just have one single chance, one single round. At least in ranked, you have a chance to adjust your game style or your hero selection in case you lose the first round. For ranked, I think it's still impossible to find a game, at least in Europe. Maybe that's because the new 5 versus 5 game mode has been introduced and there are even less ranked players than before. Maybe with time that is going to be solved, because I guess those players who just recently started are sitting in bronze or silver, eventually in gold. But I'm just a bit higher, so there's no one to play with, at least for me in ranked. So now that we covered the main game types, you may ask yourself, why did we do that? Why, what's the point I'm trying to get to? So here's the thing. If you ask me which game mode or game type I would recommend you to play, I would say, I don't know. And I would be super excited to hear what type of game modes you play since the update. Is it 5 versus 5 only, or are you doing the events, just to focus on events? Are you just trying the new hero Fade? Or what is your goal in the game? What is your trying to achieve next? Because for me, I feel like I need to step back. I need to wait to see how things evolve, because matchmaking, some polishing or some changes need to be done in order to make me want to play my low trophy heroes again. Ranked, something needs to happen with the player base. Otherwise, I'm not going to have the time to spend 5-10 minutes in the queue for one single game. And 5 versus 5, as I said, it's in beta mode, so it needs to be polished, it needs to be extended with other heroes. And free for all, it's not always fun to play just free for all. This is where we are at the moment. I'm hopping into T3 and I have no clue what to do. And because of everything I shared, this is why I kind of started looking around to see what other games are going to be released in the near future. I'm not saying in any way that I'm wanting to quit T3 Arena. I'm just saying that I need to find new goals, new achievements, what I can do within T3 Arena. You heard me mentioning Valorant Mobile multiple times. That's a game I'm definitely going to play. And in the meantime, maybe I'm gonna test Arena Breakout, which is going to be in global beta soon. And there are a bunch of new games coming this year, and if I find a game that I love as much as I love T3 Arena, I would go deeper and deeper and start publishing content on that as well. But since you guys subscribe to my T3 content, let me know in the comment section how well would it be received if I would be doing content for other mobile shooter games. I want to definitely stay in the mobile shooter category, but within this category, if I would have additional content, would it be welcome, or is it something you are not interested in? If you could answer that question in a comment, I would really appreciate that. Actually guys, I'm going to convert this into a giveaway video because I'm really curious of what you think. At the end of March, I'm going to close it somewhere at the end of March, and please answer the following questions. So when did you start playing T3 Arena? What's your current goal in the game? Which game types do you play? What's the future of T3 Arena in your opinion? And as a bonus question, would you want to see content on my channel from other games? If you answer these 4 questions, I'm going to put your name into that random spinning wheel thing, and I'm going to pick a winner at the end of March and give away 165 T-gems, okay? And I'm doing that because I would love to understand your way of thinking about T3 Arena. I think I over-explained it. Anyways, as always, thank you for staying with me, and see you in the next one. Bye.